Alrighty guys, what's going on? Today I am going to be learning jQuery. Now, today I'm going to actually be going through the activity list that I went over in class yesterday just for some practice. Because I'm still a little iffy on jQuery, so I might as well get my hands dirty and practice a little bit. So I'm just going to be going through these unsolved sections and just trying to solve them myself. So let's start with the drink list. Okay, this right here, let's see. Okay, this is JavaScript. Okay. So it wants me to do JavaScript first, but let me actually change this. And okay, so JavaScript and jQuery live coding. Okay, awesome. Okay, array holds all the drinks available. Okay, so the array name is drink list, and these are all the elements within the array. So create code that grabs the div with the matching ID. Okay, so it looks like I am going to grab this ID. So let's call it grab. ID is equal to document.get elements by ID, and the ID we want to grab is drink options. Okay, now that's not necessary. Create a for loop that creates HTML content of all the drinks using JavaScript. You will need to use each of the following methods. Create element, so I'm going to be creating a new div element, and I'm going to use the inner HTML to print to that div element, and I'm going to append. Looks like I am going to append to this div right here. Okay, so let me see how I'm going to do this. So let's start off by creating a for loop. Var I equals 0. If I is less than drink options dot length, then I want it to add 1 to I. Okay. So let me just make sure that this is working. So let's go I. So open browser, console, and line 41 var I is equal to 0, I is less than drink options dot length. Drink is not defined. Oh, whoops. Did I say, okay, I accidentally grabbed the HTML element, or HTML ID, so I wanted to grab the array. So, okay, cool. Now it looks like it's displaying 9 times. So, first I want to create a variable called, I'll just call it create elements. That might be a long variable, but it's easy to understand. So I'm creating a variable called create element. So document dot create element, and the element I want to create is a div. Okay, so console.log. Now this should create 9 div elements. Okay, looks like we didn't do that. Cool. Okay, so it looks like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, create 9 div elements because there are 9 elements in this array. Awesome. So now I have to. Let me go ahead and delete this. So I create the element. Now I have to add to that element. Okay, so the way I would add to the element is I would have to grab the ID and grab the ID, and I want to add text to it. I want to add the, let's see, I want to add drink. I want to add each element in the drink list. Oof. Okay. I'll just call it print drinks. Okay, so just let's see what's going on here. So if I print drinks, let's see here. Why do I have insert on? Okay, print drinks. Okay, grab ID is not a function. So I have to grab ID. I'm getting the ID. Diner HTML drink list. Grab. So grab ID. It's not a function. HTML, Javascript. Let me look this up. Oh, whoops, okay. So, I have to remove, I actually have to, that's not how that works. Stupid insert key. Oop, whoops. Okay. I have to have it equal to drink list. That. Cool. It's displaying. Let's see. List. Let's see what's going on here. So drink options, iced tea. So print iced tea. So I want to actually, I want to append it to this div tag, and the way I would do that is, so I create the element. I feel like that doesn't look right for some reason. Document.get element by ID. That just doesn't look right to me. So I really don't need to make a variable for that. So this is just printing. So this is just getting an ID, and then I'm printing inside of this div, right? Let's just call it. Actually, you know what? I have to print it inside of the div. So to do that, let's just call it test equals. I don't like using two equals. I mean, I feel like I'm not supposed to do that, but let's see what happens here. Actually, I wanted to append to this div, right? So I think I actually had it right the first time. Grab ID. So I wanted to create element dot append child. Let me just look up that syntax. Append child. What I want to append to the child. Testing. I might not need that. So let's try the drink list. And let's see. Child Javascript. Probably wasn't the right one. Okay. So I want it to append. So document again, my list. So I create the element, and I want to append this to grab ID, right? Okay, so var test is equal to create element. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a console.log test. See what's going on here. Okay, so we're creating a new div tag, and we're getting the create element. And what are we? You know what? This might have to be grab ID. So I'm grabbing this ID, and I want to append create element to that. Oh, whoops. Cool. Okay, so that's what I was doing wrong. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating an element called div, and I am grabbing this. I'm grabbing this div right here, and I'm adding 9 divs to this div in my HTML block. So the next step would be to add the text inside of this div. So by ID. So when I do test dot inner HTML is equal to drink list I. Okay, so I'm grabbing it, I'm appending to there, and to each one I'm okay. Awesome. Div. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, so I appended this div. This is the parent, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna create these div in the child as the child element, and I am going to print text in between these divs by doing inner HTML is equal to each of these elements, and I'm iterating through each of these elements by doing this. Okay, cool, that's good. So let's try the Okay, looks like I'm doing it in Jquery now. So, JavaScript append each string list div. You'll need for loop to go over each element in the list. Let me just look at this stuff. Okay, so I guess with jQuery to print to the DOM, all I have to do is use .html instead of HTML. Cool. Empty div. Oh, and to create a new div, I have to just do the money sign, parentheses, quotation marks, div. Okay. Oop, whoops, didn't mean to do that. For loop for each element in the list. Okay, so I should probably go ahead and let's see. My first step would be to let's create a variable to actually get the ID. So get ID is equal to, okay, I was just making sure I had the script. Okay, so get ID is equal to, so I am going to get drink options, and that will get me my ID. So I'll just put a comment there, gets ID. Yes, okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and create my for loop, and I know there's a way to create a for loop in jQuery. So jQuery, I'm pretty sure it's .each. Let's see here. I like W3 School to make it nice and simple. So .each function, this index function. Index. So function within a function, or well then, let's do okay. So let me create the only thing is I don't know if this is going to work. Index and console.log. I want to loop through drink list. I don't think this is gonna work, but I'll see here. Okay, so so dot each, let's see here. So it's getting the li and index. Okay, so let me look at the syntax real quick, because I don't really understand the for looping in Jquery. So, okay. You can select the list element. Okay, let me go to the top. Down looping, unless passes the current loop iteration beginning from 0. Callback is fired. Suppose you have a sample ordered list. Okay, you can select the list items and iterate across them. Okay, I just wanted to iterate through drink list. So how do I do that? Dot each iterate through array. Cool, okay. So I actually have to put, okay, the array would be the first argument, and the second argument, it would be function, it would be this function, and the index actually loops through. The index is basically the length of the array. So it's going to loop depending on how many elements are in this array. Cool. Okay, let's see here. So I created my loop. Now I want to create a div element. Okay, so to create a div element in Jquery, I would do, what's this? Okay, so to create a div element, so I'm going to call var create div is equal to, let's go with div. So let me console.log create div, and that should, okay, cool. So I am creating, looks like 9 divs. Okay, well we know it's creating the length of this array. It's creating divs based on the length of this array. So, good. Okay, so now I want to, okay, so what's next? So I create the divs, and now I want to put text within those divs. So I have to create div dot HTML. So inside those divs, I want to add drink list. Index. Let's see if that works. Nope. Actually, I have to console log that. So let's call it print and div. Oh wait. Yeah, and then console log it. Print and div. And let's see what's going on here. So within the divs, I should see first div coffee. No, I'm not getting coffee. And looks like I'm not getting anything in there either. Let's just see if that works. Let me go ahead and actually comment this out. Comment this section out and see if I can just do drink list index and see if it actually, okay, it does print it out. Okay, so okay. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's right. And then I want to, so I create the div, and inside that div, I am printing this drink. Okay. So now I have to, append to the drink options. So let's go get ID dot append. So what am I appending? I am going to be appending the print and div, and let's see if this works. Nope. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Let me actually go back and look at my JavaScript section. So I got my test, alright? I grabbed the ID and I appended it to the child all these divs. Okay, so maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. So I want to append, so I want to get that ID, drink options, and I want to append create div, and looks like within create div, so within the created div, I want to print that, and this should actually be okay. Nope, it's not. Okay, what's going on here? Let's see, so that's actually printing that. Jquery diagram. So you're getting the P element. Inside the P element, this is what you want. Okay, so I'm getting this create div element. Inside of that, I want it to create drink. Okay, so let's see here. So again, drink options, right? Drink options. Okay, so don't think I'll be working this long on this. Okay, so let me just go ahead and print the divs. So I create a div, right? And I want to var create var print div is equal to. Okay, so I'm getting my ID and I print to that. Alright. Okay. So then when I go to my elements, shoot, I'm stuck. Drink options. So let me actually just compare it to. So create element div. So I created a div doing that. And then I'm grabbing the ID and let's see, grabbing the ID and I'm petting it to create div. And then so I'm going to let's just call this test is equal to. Okay, so I'm getting a test. I'm getting this div and I'm going to print. Now I thought with it would be drink list. I don't think it has to be in. That should do it. Why is not defined? Index. What am I doing wrong here? So I got that. Got my HTML. I got my drink list. So this should Jquery. What's the second parameter to do? Do you even need that? Okay, so let me just put this side by side, see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so I created a variable to get drink options, did that right, and I created a for loop that goes through drink list, and a function. What is the second? What's the second? So I know this does that. Oh, no way. So you're creating, okay, so what they did was they created two div tags, right? And actually, let me see this one, what they did in this one. Oh, man. It seems so easy. Okay. Okay, so it looks like this actually goes, this is the number it iterates. This is actually the, let me look at that. Look at that. Okay, so dot each, I saw it here earlier. Actually, dot each. So you have your index and you have your element. Actually, I don't like this website I'm going to use. Okay, so you have your index. Okay, you create your function, and you have your index. The index position of the selector. Okay, position of the selector. The current element of this selector can also be used. How come they're not using an example where they use that? Okay, let me go back to Jquery. That's actually what's the second one? Jquery.each array callback. Dot. Okay, the each function is not the same as the selector each. The each function can be used to iterate over any collection, object or an array. Let me go get some water real quick. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Each function internally retrieves and uses the length property of the past collection. So the collection has a property called length. The function might not work as expected. It just produces two messages. Use collection, the callback, let's see. Examples, looks like it's I. So this is actually the value. So if I do drink, right? If I go like drink, is that going to okay, what the heck is going on here? Append. Okay, let's go console.log drink. Let's see what's going on here. Actually, okay, so this iterates through the array. This actually prints. This grabs each element within the array. Okay, I got you. So I don't even have to use that in drink options index. Okay, so shouldn't this work? Okay, so you don't even have to create a div like that. Well, that's what I mean. When I want it to append to okay, so they're appending it to, looks like, to drink div, to, they're appending it to there. So they're getting that and appending it to that one. Okay. No. Okay, so they are getting the ID and dot appending. They're actually creating a div element like so, and within those div elements they're adding drink plus div, just like that. What's wrong with you? I did exactly what I was supposed to do. Okay, let me see this. Okay, so drink div. Which is the, oh, you know what, man? I'm going all the way back. Stupid me. Oh man, I was missing a hashtag to get an element by ID. With Jquery, you need to use a hashtag. Wow. You know what? Sometimes uh, you just get super frustrated and you're like, wow, I missed such a simple thing. Okay, so let me try doing it this way. Again, if it doesn't work, then I know the other way it worked. So, let's see. No one else is watching. Cool. Okay, so I am getting the ID. So I'm creating a div, right? Test drink. So, okay. So I get this ID, right? So let me go ahead and just okay, so I create a div, and in that div I want to print drinks within this div. So let me go ahead and ignore that. Oh, shit. Okay, so I want to say, hey, within this div, print these drinks. And then I want to get that ID, append. I want to append, so var, let's just call it test, let's call it demo. And demo, beautiful, okay, cool. So my problem, the issue that I was having was I forgot the hashtag. So because I didn't have the hashtag, it was getting nothing. It was like, hey, there's nothing. What do you want me to get? Do you want me to get an ID, a class, an element? I want you to get an element. So let me go ahead and console.log demo real quick. Okay. So that's how you do it. But looks like in the solution they did it super simple, the easiest way possible. I probably never would have thought of it. So what they did was they got the element, get ID, and they appended it, and within the append parameters, they did div, created a div, and within each and every div, they printed the drink and then added a closing div, and that should do the same thing. So let me do var demo equals, forgot that, console.log demo. Okay, well, it works. Let's move on. Hashtags. Hashtag. Let's see what we were doing here. We were doing looks like we were doing event listeners. So .on key up. Let's go log. on key up on click. Okay, this is just an example. Let's see, dot click me. I've been clicked on key up. So if I click here, you cool. So when I on key up, so this is the function. Cool. E. So whatever the key they're pressing. Interesting. Okay, so I've been at this for about an hour now. How the heck did I lose a view? Okay, I'm the only one watching. And I feel like this means I decided not to watch myself. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch myself. Okay. Hey man, this is all I can say is this is how you learn. You gotta make mistakes. Get frustrated, go out and break things, come back, and then just come back with a clear mind and just laser beam focus on what you gotta do. So, okay. Alright, let's try this next challenge. No, I will not save you. So, I will do the unsolved sandwich challenge. I'm not going to look at this code. I'm just going to look at what it should look like. So, peanut butter jelly. You've eaten one PB&J sandwich. Cool. Grilled cheese. So it looks like okay, gotcha. Alright guys, I'm going to attempt to do this sandwich. Oh, did not see that. I'm going to attempt to do this sandwich challenge, but first I'm going to take a break. Let's see what it looks like actually. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to come back and continue this. So, thank you for watching and I'll be back.